What's up, everyone? I'm Jordan with Line in the Stars.
And I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
Awesome. And this week, we're continuing on with the HTM buddy build of the Reliant. Ken, what did you get done last week?
That's a good question, Jordan. Last week I got my RCS thrusters. I
There
kept
you
saying
go.
RTS thrusters. I
Yep.
got them installed.
Awesome.
So yeah. And then
How
I
did you find
also
installing those were? Was it fairly easy or
that wasn't that bad for the top ones. The bottom ones were a pain in the behind.
yeah.
Because I kept the plastic part, the body part on it.
Yeah.
And then I just opened a hole and then fed it up underneath and then sat it in place like that.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I ended up doing. Are you going to be doing the same ones?
Yes, I actually just emailed Cass to get those ordered, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. I kind of delayed on getting that done, so it'll likely be the last portion of the body modifications that I'm going to wind up doing.
Right. A couple of points. Will was probably smarter than I was. I could have followed him, but I decided to try things differently. He just cut out the triangle part and
Yeah.
cut the hole and then just fit it in here. He didn't worry about the plate part. But I just wanted to see
Oh,
if
I
it could
see.
be done and
Okay.
let people know.
Awesome.
The other thing I just noticed today when I was doing some sanding and dry fitting and stuff is that two of them don't line up like they should, even though they're directly on the panel line. And if you look here,
Oh.
you can see one's right here and one's right here. You can see this one's over this way and this one's over that way.
Oh
But they're
my goodness.
both directly on their panel line to the point. Now this one here is not bad. This one here is actually pretty good. So it'll probably be something I'll just have to try and camouflage with paint or something. But
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, once again, this kit is not a very not very accurate. That's why we're doing all the things that we're doing to it. So, okay, well, that's good to know.
Yes, yeah. And then I also went in and put the light box in from underneath here. So
Awesome. Awesome.
just a little the what is this stuff called? Here we go. The uncure. I just put because it's a little basin basically. I just put a little bit in there, let it sit for maybe 2 minutes. Stuck my tweezers in on the side and just popped the whole thing up. No problem.
Awesome. And then did you just cut this piece out right here completely?
Yeah, I did. You want to leave a little bit of a lip, just like about as wide as the actual rim on that photo etch is, if you look at the piece.
Okay.
Um, and then that it'll actually sit down at that point. I actually kind of caved mine in a little bit over here on this side, but that's okay.
Okay. Nice. And then it just sits right down on top of the resin piece.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you don't remove that part underneath, you would just set it in there normally, and it just looks great.
Right.
But once you've opened it up, just leave a little lip on the inside of what you're cutting out for
Okay.
this to sit on. Because this technically it isn't actually sitting right on this part. It's sitting above it,
Okay. Awesome.
like a
Yeah, that's kind of give
millimeter or
that
two.
definite. Yeah, it's given that definition so you can actually catch the grill underneath.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet.
So what are you doing this week?
So well, I
Or
mean, I guess
what did you do last week? I guess.
what did I do last week? Yeah. So I went ahead and I guess first up, I went ahead and got my window panels all sanded in. So we're all nice and flush and even along the outside. There's still a couple spots that need a little bit of love. With my aggressiveness with putting this in, I also had to kind of sand around the edge as well to kind of just make sure it's a nice, smooth, and even surface. But I did get all of my window panels sanded in. I got them putted in from the inside as well to kind of assist with light blocking. Um, I got my lower windows drilled out. And then as for the rest of the saucer, I went ahead and got the 2 maintenance pits, or the 2 engineering pits, installed, and I went ahead and just basically cut them out completely, out of instead of sanding it down like Will had done. I just cut them out. I found it much easier to deal with that. They fit in beautifully, especially if you take your time. This one's slotted in perfectly. And then I got a lot of the work done back here. So I got all of the triangles. Let's focus up. Got all the triangles sanded off. And then I went ahead and installed both of my shuttle bay doors, as you can see there. I followed Will's technique almost to the letter, and wound up working out perfectly. This one I did a really nice cut. If I can get it to focus right, I got fairly close the first time, and it barely had to do any sort of sanding. I just need some putty work down around the outside. This one was a little bit more of the trial and figuring it out. I did it on stream the other night, and then I went ahead and got the side portions cut out for photo etch. I did unfortunately happen to split the piece up here. So I've been a little ginger with it. I need to go ahead and sand it out still, but just been letting that cure up. So that's what I got done last week. Episode should be out tomorrow, according to this recording. So, what do you plan on getting done this week?
This week, I want to do kind of same as you did. I'm going to work back here on the shuttle bay area. I got the shuttle bay parts as well. I will be
Awesome.
doing the mechanical trenches, I guess, up here.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'll probably do the same as you did of drilling in the windows. So kind of catching up to where with the things you did
Awesome.
in this past week.
So, note on those windows, it is a 1.2 millimeter drill bit that you want to use.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
And like it actually, if you look at them, it's exactly 1.2 millimeters. So they drill out, if you look at that, they drilled out perfectly.
Perfect.
I was very pleased with how that turned out. So yeah, 1.2 millimeters. And as for me, my plan is to finish up back here. I'm gonna get the photo etch laid across the top here, and then go ahead and get my triangles put into place after getting all of this puttied and sanded in. And then from there, I think I want to try to keep like working on sanding and puttying, and getting just this the hole smoothed out as much as possible. And then one of the things that I'm looking at before moving on is, oh, where was it? Someone mentioned in the comments, and I will show you that comment, but he mentioned that there's something that's missing from over in this area that Will didn't even catch on his video. So I will
Okay.
let you know about that. But yeah, so there's like a surface detail that we might be able to change over in this triangle area. So I'll go ahead and let you know what that is. But otherwise, kind of a simple approach for me this week. I just want to finish up getting this done. Although the photo etch and getting the resin pieces put in place, along with all the sanding, there's actually going to be quite a bit of work that needs to be done back here. So that's my plan. We're both kind of, what's funny is we diverged and then kind of came back together at certain points. And so I imagine that's going to be that way across a lot of this model. So,
Oh, yeah, I would assume that's exactly what the thing we're going to be running into.
yep. Well, awesome, man. Well, got anything else?
Uh, just that I'm learning more and more that uh, doing the templates where we're using tape to make our
Yeah.
own templates, I'm finding that actually works really well on all this stuff we're doing. I ended up doing
I,
it here too.
yeah, I can't disagree with you. The templates are something that, it's funny. It's like you have masks and you have mask designs and you have all those like different companies out there that do this sort of stuff. And I really do think that it would be a worthwhile endeavor for these guys like, Cass or them to include that in their instructions. Like if you actually want to get this properly put into place, having the like taking the mask and laying it down exactly where you want to cut is key. So I agree. And Ken, it was a fantastic tip for you to create that.
No, thank you.
All right, my friend. Well, I think it's time to get to building this week. I wish you good luck and can't wait to see what you get done.
Thanks, Jordan. Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Align in the Stars. I'm Jordan. And obviously, from the beginning, like it's always a little weird to get these going from the middle, but I feel that it's weird to also not start my videos without saying, "What's up, everyone?" So here it is today. We're going to be moving on, like I said in the previous segment. There's certain modifications that need to be done, but today I have some mail. I got a little bit of a mail call for this model. Things have been ordered at different points, and as the mail system around this area, at least the Seattle area, really sucks and can be slow from time to time, and getting things, I've gotten all three of my final modification pieces for the Reliant, at least from the perspective of the non-based, non-electronics sort of thing, and I needed to pick up a few other things, including the photo etch and a couple other little bits. And so I have a bit of a mail call today to talk about because this episode's not going to be too long, as I feel like I'm not going to be able to get too much done, as the work that needs to be done is kind of detailed, and I'm only going to be able to show just a little bit of it. So today, let's go ahead and start out with a little bit of a mail call. Let's go ahead and get all of this opened up. I have not opened anything. Obviously, I'm going to keep my address protected. If you do want to send something to me, which is weird, but it does happen, you can go ahead and reach out to me at, I actually can do this. Where are you? You can go ahead and reach out to me at jordan@atsmodels.com, and you'll be able to find out, or we can be in contact. And if you guys want to send something to me, which would be weird, but if you just also want to email me or whatever, check me out at jordan@atsmodels. We'll go ahead and keep my address protected just for the sake of right now. This first one here is from HDA, and I'm assuming that these two are going to be the green strawberry bits. And indeed they are. I do like how they package, man. I really love how HDA packages. Like they are fantastic with just real world. Like you're going to grab whatever they can to go ahead and get it taken care of. And then, of course, they always sign off on the invoice at the very bottom. I really do enjoy HDA. The HDA Model Works, I'm going to go ahead and throw a link down in the description to their channel, or not their channel, but their website. Do check it out. They do carry all the green strawberry stuff where you don't have to wait for green strawberry to ship it to you. However, this box is remarkably full and packed in tight. And we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. And what we have here are the phaser and photon torpedoes. So you have the super phasers at the top, and then you have the photon torpedo launcher, which has much more detail. We'll go ahead and open that up here in a quick second. And then we have our intercooler assemblies as well, which fit into the front of the nacelles, which kind of works out because that's where we're going to be going next. So let's go ahead and take a look at the phaser, the super phasers, as what they are actually called in the show, in the movie, and the photon torpedo launcher. Let's go ahead and see how they look. We have our typical green strawberry packaging inside, where you have the instructions, and then our resin pieces. And I do have to say, in looking at these and looking at the stock part, there is no way that we're not using these. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the resin pieces. So this is for the 4. No, so this is the 4. So this is the forward end, and then this is the rear end for the torpedo launchers. And that detail is nuts. What do you guys look at that? That's amazing. Green Strawberry really does some amazing work when it comes to designing the detail with these cast pieces. These are fantastic. All right, and we'll go ahead and set that off to the side, and then let's go ahead and take a look at our super phasers. Oh, those look great. And when we get into the actual parts where we're replacing these, we will do a side-by-side comparison to see the difference. But those do look really, really good. Oh, I love it. Excellent. All right, so I've been waiting for those. Not like I just kind of forgot to buy them, and financial things and buying $100 worth of resin parts is not always the easiest thing in the world to do. But got those taken care of and we're ready to go, and it kind of falls in line with where I'm at in the build. let's go ahead and take a look. Our intercoolers are not sealed up at the top, which is totally fine. Got our instructions inside, and then the intercoolers themselves are very simple pieces here. We'll just go ahead and keep them in the package until they're ready to go. But as you can see there, there's some really good detail in there. And that's his writing on the package, so don't worry about that. There you go. Wow, those look really good. Excellent. Okay, so get those set off to the side. And this is Lake Monster, so this is Cass. I went ahead and emailed Cass. Now, these are parts that are currently available. A lot of the parts that we've been working with have been set up by the way, check out Will's channel, Will at the Ensign's Chair. He's the one who has kind of inspired this build for Ken and I. I'm going to go grab some scissors here. But through that and talking with Cass, these parts that I'm about to show you now are available to use and buy. You just have to kind of email Cass. And of course, there's the paper right here at the very end. It's totally fine. They're inside here. All right, so these are very cheap. Now, what these are the RCS thrusters, and they are normally for the Enterprise refit, but if you ask Cass, and they're like $3 plus shipping, one of being $8, I think. Cass will ship you just enough. Where are they? They're right here. What layer are they in? There they are. Cass will ship you, and here they are. Just 4 of them for the Reliant. The Enterprise needs 8. The Reliant needs 4. And where they fit into place, I'll bring out the model here for a moment, is going to be at all 4 of these RCS thrusters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, as you guys may have seen in Ken's last video. So nothing but love for everybody. Check out Ken at Ken's Hobby Bench. Check out his channel for his portion of the buddy build of this. Link is down in the description. He went ahead and got these put in place. We're both in front of and behind each other at different points of the build. And that is both done intentionally and creatively, as we've both kind of gone different directions. But he has already done that. But what these are is the replacements for the RCS thrusters. As you can see here on the bottom, there is nothing. There should be something there. And these fit into place and look much nicer. Okay, so that's what those are. I've been excited for these ones. And that's one of the things we're going to be working on next episode as we finish up all of the modifications to the saucer section. The main body of the build. So yeah, that is there. Go and grab that. And then for our final piece today, let's go ahead and move the model out of the way. We have our photo etch from HDA, and this is the Paragraphics photo etch set. Now, we're not going to be using all components in the photo etch, but we are going to be using a large portion of them, however. So, you never know when where they stick these invoices. And I do love the thank you so much. I do love that. Anything that, anytime when you buy something like this and it's personalized is always appreciated for me. So, all right. Go ahead and get that set off to the side there. Get our invoice off there. And here is our photo etch. Excellent. So what we're going to be using, we're going to be getting right into it today. The 2 pieces that we're going to be using today are going to be this piece here and then this piece here. So we're not going to be using everything. Obviously, we're not going to be using the window templates as we've already got the resin in pieces put in there, or the rim windows and stuff like that. But we are going to be using a lot of these pieces for the domes and other various pieces, and it's important to have this for this model, specifically for these pieces that we're going to be incorporating today. So there is our photo etch along with the instructions. This is from Paragraphics. Paul does a fantastic job, also is a fantastic human being, so make sure you guys check out the stuff there. So there it is. There's our mail call. Let's go ahead and get on to the build, and we're going to start today by cutting out something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I wasn't sure if we can do it. We're going to go ahead and start by cutting out the rear vent behind the main bridge and getting our photo etch and resin piece put in place. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and talk about the parts that we're going to be installing, where we're going to be installing, and why this needs to happen. So right back behind the main bridge here is this little grill section, and AMT, bless their hearts, they tried. It is not quite a grill. Often what times you're going to do is you're just going to get the piece of photo etch right here, and then it just sits down over the top of that, and it definitely helps kind of create the look. I know it doesn't do any justice here, but what we're going to do today in order to help that is we're going to have a grill that's going both ways, but then has an underlayer on it as well, because it is lit with a very faint blue light inside. And so what I've done is I have personally printed this piece, and this was designed by Will over at the Ensign's Chair. And this is one of his light boxes, and I went ahead and got this printed. And what this does is this sits right behind this portion right here, and it has the lower portion of it. We're not going to be installing that, but it sits right behind and then sits in this place after we cut it out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the photo etch on top of that to give a bit of depth into the model itself, so that when it lights from the inside, it gives the impression that there's actually something going on inside. I got to say that Will did an amazing job with the design of this piece. It looks really, really cool when done. So this is going to be a majority of the work that we're doing today, and kind of looking at things and looking at the photo etch. I wanted to make sure that I'm not rushing anything. So for today's episode, we're only going to be covering just a couple things besides installation of this part here. So first things first, let's go ahead and get it separated from the sprue or its foundation or supports. And I was able to get these from Will. So I was talking with Will at the beginning before when Ken and I were planning this build. And, these aren't going to be available through, through Lake Monster Details. These, if you just email Will, he can provide you some. Or I believe he's actually, no, I don't think you're going to email him. I think he's going to be putting them up on, what do you call it? I think it's going to be either on Thingiverse, or something like that, like Cults 3D, I believe is where he does his thing. So, but yeah, he went ahead and sent me the files, and I was able to get these printed. Ken has the set as well. We're just going to go ahead and get these sanded. I did print these on the Sunlu ABS like on my Saturn 3 Ultra. I do have to say that these prints turned out smooth and flawless for the most part, outside of the sanding marks back there. But, there's no printing ridges or whatever. I don't really show off my 3D prints too often, but these did turn out really, really well. So, okay, let's go ahead and do a bit of a test fit and see how this fits into place, just to see kind of as a representation. So it's going to sit back behind just like this. All right. And so in order to get this cut out, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut basically up to about this point. We want to leave a little bit of this ridge along the outside. So once again, when using the Sonic Saber, what I like to do is before even getting started, I do like to take it before activating it and score my first line with the Sonic Saber. Score my lines. Remember that this blade is extraordinarily sharp on its own. And as you can see here, it may be hard to pick up, but along here, there's a slight ridge that connects into that part. Where we're going to cut is going to be right next to that line, as close in as possible. Okay. Now, activating my Sonic Saber. It's going to cut in several successive passes. until I happen to get all the way through. Not trying to push all the way into the model, as eventually the cut through will happen on its own. Be patient with this process if you're using the Sonic Saber, or if you are drilling out. Don't rush. You are modifying a model, and you need to try to keep as much of the original plastic there as possible to support what we're doing here. That's why I do like the Sonic Saber, is you're able to cut as opposed to having to drill out a bunch of holes and then use your hobby knife to cut it out later. But if you try to force the Sonic Saber like I just did there, you can wind up cutting a little further than you want to. And we're going to have to modify that later on, which is fine. There we go. See how we did from the bottom. We need some more cutting along this right side here. There we go. At this point, I can kind of start coming up from the bottom to finish our cuts. So we need a little bit more here on this side. There we go. And connect our cuts. And let's see what we can do. Grab a pair of straight tweezers here. And being gentle, see if I can't push that through. Bingo. All right, there we go. So let's see how this fits back behind. Just as a basic test fit. So there's what that kind of looks like. Okay. So I could probably take off. I think we're fine with what we took off there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean up this hole real fast, and I will be right back. All right. So after some modulation, let's just say, I went ahead and got this all cleaned up. I will do some more sanding and what have you over the top of this. I'm trying to avoid taking off too much surface detail here, as there is a lot around this area. So I'll do a little bit of modulation later on, but we're obviously going to be putting the photo etch over the top here real quick. So let's go ahead and start by getting our piece lined up, and I'm going to grab some glue. Oh, this makes this kind of permanent, which is kind of cool, I have to say. We're going to use our CA here, and we're going to be using CA, obviously, because we have a resin piece. Tamiya is not going to work. I will use Tamiya for this model as things come up, but you know, as it's appropriate. But for this, we're going to be using CA with all resin pieces. And from the other side, I'm going to go ahead and get this lined up and fit in place. Just like so. And hold that in place for just a moment. All right, there it is. That looks pretty cool, I do have to say. All right. And it's a part that I printed, which is also really, really cool. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our first piece of photo etch put on this model. And one of the things that's really cool about the Sonic Saber is something we're finding out during my live stream where I was basically just cutting things. I found out that this works fantastic for cutting the gates off of your photo etch. So we're just going to line up here at the edge and just a quick little cut. Boom, done. Right up to the edge, no issues. Cuts through, no problems. Nice and clean, even cut. There we go. Excellent. That's it for the Sonic Saber for the moment. And there is the piece of photo etch that we're going to be putting over the top here. And where that's going to go, going to be... Oh, I may have done things here. Let's see what Ken was saying. Oh. Uh-oh. I may have cut off too much. I should have checked to see. Not may have. I have cut off too much. Oh, boy. Would you look at you, Jordan? So, God. I haven't made a stupid mistake like that in a while. I should have cut out just the inside of it. I cut too much around the outsides. So that's what that's supposed to look like sitting over the top. Yikes. All right. Well, I know what I got to do to fix that. Unfortunately, what that's going to mean is I'm going to put this back in the package over here. And what I'm going to need to do, and I'm going to do this in between episodes, is I'm going to need to take a little bit of sheet styrene and build up a bit of an edge, and I will measure and figure out where the photo etch sits over the top and get that taken care of. Where I should have cut that down is inside of the ridge piece around the outside versus the outside. I should have paid attention to my instructions, but oh boy. Well, my first boneheaded mistake on this build was right here, unfortunately. So, all right, well, on that front, I was going to install just that photo etch and then talk about what we're doing next. I'm going to go ahead and move on to what we're going to be doing next. In the next episode, we're going to go ahead and do that now by installing our photo etch over our impulse engines. And I'm going to take a couple minutes in between segments here to go ahead and just like collect my thoughts. I'll be right back. All right. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself, and that's why, like, for scale models and recording, I try to be as prepared as possible and not do things off the cuff, do my research and all of those things. I obviously didn't do that here. I was excited because I had the parts, and here we are. So let's go ahead and do our photo etch for our impulse engines, and it's going to be both of these pieces right up here, and they're just simply going to fit over the top right up here. So let's go ahead and start with the port side and use our sonic saber to get them off of our trees, runners, whatever you want to call them. Right. And then what I also find, which is kind of crazy to me, but also makes total sense, I'm going to grab my eraser file, which is a glass file. And the glass file works great for sanding down your gates if there is a little that are left behind. Do be careful and try to keep these flat. All right, so now got those sanded up. What we're going to do, very simply, glue these over the top to create the grill for the impulse engines. So, to do so, I'm going to make sure that everything is lined up properly and fits in place. Make sure I understand how they fit in place. Let's see. So there is a slight angle to this piece. Just like that. Okay. So to get that to fit into place, I'm got a little bit of a bend here now. So do be careful when sanding and handling your photo etch. This is some of the thicker photo etch that I've come across, but regardless, it does bend very easily. So I am actually going to use a glue tool. I don't want to use too much CA here, so we're going to go into that. Use my glue tool. Get around the end of the impulse engines. Just with some of our CA. And very carefully. Position it in place. Just like so. All right, let's do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to try to take off the impulse grill here without having to sand. I'm going to try to focus a little bit more. That's better. Yep. This is the thing with recording scale models. It is a bit of a skill. Something that I've been focusing on of late is trying to be prepared for this. As part works tends to be much easier to record, I will say. So I'm going to get this part cleaned up. As for as much as I wanted to, there are a couple of gates left over. I'm going to use my thinner razor, most surface area. All right, excellent. And let's go ahead and do that, and we'll be done for the episode. We'll talk about what we're going to be doing next. So, once again, get around the outside. There we go. And get it lined up. And affixed into place. All right, our first photo etch pieces are put into place, and I gotta say that that looks pretty cool. The detail that alone provides makes me very, very happy. All right, well, excellent. So there it is. So what we're going to be doing next time, we're going to go ahead and get our photo etch put over our corner pieces right over here. At the very end, we got those cut out last time. I'm going to need to do a little bit of sanding to get prepared for it. I'm going to show you a technique that Will over at the Ensign's Chair has shown me in his videos. Definitely check out his build of the Reliant as well. He's doing a fantastic job of getting the inspiration together for all of this. This is really, really cool build, and the amount of detail that we're putting into it is fantastic. So we're going to be taking care of that. We're going to get our little triangle pieces put on, and then from there, I am going to show you my little fix of the little vent back behind here. I'm really kicking myself right now for that, but I will show you my fix for that and talk about what we're going to be doing next, which I believe is going to be moving on to working on the nacelles, as I kind of want to do something a little bit different. So that's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.